Now, folks, I'm not ready to announce the surprises we're going to have in Dallas for everybody. But tonight, 8 o'clock Central, at the Federal Reserve, you want to be there to get all the free flyers and stuff to hand out to people. So, again, you want to definitely come up there. The flyer says, the establishment killed me 50 years ago, and now they're killing free speech. The people are fighting back, with the image of Kennedy. And on the other side, it says the people are fighting back. Operation Liberty is in full swing. Anyways, Infowars.com/show if you want to be able to watch the show. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're making some big announcements on the radio tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central. I'll be broadcasting from Dallas with my reporters on the ground. And I'll be on the ground Friday down there, leading a march live on air for the First Amendment. But right now, I want to get to this really serious article and then back to your calls and back to a report from John Bound and Rob Jacobson on the streets at Dealey Plaza as they shut down more of the areas. Father arrested for trying to pick kids up from school. You don't need a reason as a parent to go get your children. They are our children. A father was arrested for attempting to pick up his kids from school in a startling new example of how the state is increasingly treating children as its own property. Making a stand against what he considered a dangerous and illegal new school policy that forces parents to wait in a line of cars outside until children are released at 2:35 p.m., Jim Howell, who I want to get on the show, guys, tried to walk his kids out of South Cumberland Elementary, but was arrested and now faces charges of disorderly conduct. You don't need a reason as a parent to get your children. There are children, Hal states in a video of the incident. And again, he's totally polite, totally nice, and the cop gets loud and says he's causing a problem. The officer, the god, who made the arrest of the slave, sheriff deputy and school resource officer Avery Yates, responds to Howell's attempt to pick up his own children by stating, I'm going to call some help down here and we're going to take you to jail right now. I'm not putting up with this today. You're being childish and it's uncalled for. They're totally turning the schools into prisons, folks. Social engineering that the parents can't get near them. They're little prisons. They advertise them as mass shooting zones. The school secretary attempts to get Hal to fill a form out to authorize the children to leave the school on their own, which Hal refuses to sign because he's escorting the children out of the school, stating, they're walking with me when school's dismissed per state law. Then they go ahead and arrest him. The issue is, this is why everybody's trying to homeschool. So this is going to raise taxes where you can't afford to have somebody stay home and take care of the kids. It's not that the average teacher, even the average school cop's a bad person. They don't know they're in a social engineering system. They haven't read all the government documents. They don't know that it's actually run and approved by Wackenhut and others to prepare kids for prison life. They don't know that your kids are sent to school to learn how to use drugs and have sex. They don't understand the big picture of the social engineering. But the globalists are on record. The schools are meant to metastasize and take over the country, where now schools go, yeah, the neighbors saw Jimmy playing with an orange Nerf gun in his backyard with friends. They were shooting at each other with them with the Nerf guns. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, like when you go to Laser Blazer and play laser tag. When they go call a SWAT team on that, imagine they send some globalist socialist in and they go, I saw people with ray guns shooting each other, call the SWAT team. I mean, that's how, but the school acts like it's normal. Oh, yes, we are shutting Billy out for 2 weeks and then charging him with truancy because he had an orange and yellow Nerf gun with Bobby in the backyard. It's like neighbors see a 2.5-year-old peeing on the side of the house and they call the police on him and the cop arrests, the dad or whatever. I mean, this is just like you see a little kid peeing in the yard. That's what little kids do. I mean, I've had kids up to age 4 at the beach just start peeing in the water. You go, hey, whoa. You got to go back to the hotel to do that. And how many times have you seen other kids peeing in public? And call the police. People, there was some woman 2 weeks ago who was in a bar and saw people drinking and called the police and said, there's people drunk in here, and the cops arrested her. Or my hamburger's not warm. I'm calling the police on you. Let me make this clear. The police are out of control. The public is even worse. It's pathetic. And this father, I mean, this happens everywhere now where it's like a jail guard. You got to have an ID and you can't get your kids. And all the schools do this now. They bring your kids out and then, like, shoot them out into traffic to pick them up. Even private schools do this now. and it's dangerous. So he didn't like that. He wanted to pick his children up, and he got arrested. Here is part of the video. The full video is up on Infowars.com. Do we have the video of the... Okay, well, that's all right. The TriCaster sometimes has little problems. But as soon as we get that, we have it queued up, we'll get that. We haven't had that happen in a while. And again, this speaks to just what's happened in our culture, what's happened in our society. And again, the plan, as MSNBC said, is that the state runs your kids. In fact, Watson's article lists all this, where California actually says your kids belong to them. The feds are saying you're going to have an assigned government social worker from birth, even if you're wealthy, even if you have no criminal record, even if you're middle class. You will have them in your life. They will be their third mommy or daddy, and they will teach your child how to, you know what? They're going to teach your 5-year-old how to do you know what. So that's just, they're going to do it, and if you don't like it, you'll be arrested. So let's go ahead and go to the takeover of society by the social engineers, by the parasites. Here is the clip.
They're walking with me when school is dismissed.
No, we're not.
Per state law, yes they are.
No.
No, you're really barking up the wrong tree.
You're barking up the county jail where you go.
It's fine. I've been there before.
Good. You're about to go there again.
That's no problem. You just open yourself up for a lawsuit. It'll be another one.
Go get your lawsuit. I don't care. You're not intimidating me, Jim.
Nobody's
You're not
trying to
doing it. I don't
intimidate
care how many lawyers you I don't care.
I'm not raising my voice. I'm not confrontational. I want my kids.
You're a confrontational.
Nope.
You're starting.
Nope. I just started. You started.
You're going to get this arrested for disciplinary conduct.
What's the difference? That's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay, good.
There's no difference. I'm up here walking to get my kids. There's no difference in a
You have to go by the school rules. You don't call the sheriff on me. Sheriff has nothing to do with coming down Board of Education.
School's dismissed. Kids go with me.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Mr. 3?
I'm asking you to do the same thing the other parents are doing.
I can't stand in line and I'm walking, picking my kids up.
Kids that walk, wait like for buses.
But kids that walk by themselves, I'm here to pick my child up walking. There's a difference.
Trying to be difficult.
It's walk or parent.
You're trying to be difficult.
Nope.
You're being childish. Make sure you record that.
Not trying to be childish. School is over. My child is being...
You're trying everything, every day.
This whole thing is going to get changed. It doesn't matter.
Who says?
I say. Watch.
Oh, you're the boss?
I want...
Are you the superintendent of the schools?
Nope. I need my children.
Are you the legislator in Nashville?
No.
What makes you
but I'm a taxpayer like the other several hundred out here that don't like this.
They don't want parents coming in the government training center.
No, not for me to argue about it. Here's a rule. Here's a TCA code. School is out. My children are to be given to me. When school is out.
It don't say when, but they have.
Good pause.
They have. I'm not no.
Back it up 10 seconds. They belong to you all the time. They're just training you that, oh, they belong to them when they're there. Now they belong to him. No, it's worse than that. They belong to you all the time. And the answer is leave the government training camps in the property tax. This is the social engineering plan by the communists 120 years ago on record. Dewey, all of it. It's all on record to wreck the country. And now look at Obama. Look at all these people. They're in there teaching their kids how to have abortions and anal sex at age 5. Holy Toledo. Now the president's a dictator on immigration, military, Obamacare. He just does whatever he wants. Put up with anything from these criminals. I remember when the Violence Policy Center was in the paper and said, it doesn't matter what Alex Jones does with the Second Amendment. We've got your kids, and we're teaching them to ban guns. They actually said in the cover of the newspaper in Metro and State, we've got your kids. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Well, you can go to hell, you stinking control freaks. Man, it makes me mad. See, it's good that I've been in a good mood today. Now I watch this video, and it's just that cops like, you do whatever I want. You don't come in our little government nest where we got your kiddies in here. Let's go back to the tape.
Here's a TCA code. School is out. My children are to be given to me. When school is out.
It don't say when, but they have. I'm not, no.
Please excuse me.
School is out, they will give you your child, but it doesn't say when now, does it?
Tennessee state law
Didn't say when, did I? We don't say when you get your kids, boy. Back that up 20 seconds. That is incredible. I can see that cop like a predator creeping in on that dad. And he's explaining to him, here's the law. And the law in Tennessee, that's Knoxville, Tennessee, by the way, where we're on the radio, multiple stations. Wasn't it just Tennessee where they shot up the minivan? I mean, it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. And the school's out. They won't give them as kids. They make you wait like 30 minutes now, doling them out the way they want. And it's just going to be more and more. It's about your kids belong to the state. I mean, I had the National Gun Group say, we got your kids, literally in the paper. They are filth, man. Let's go back to the cop who's there preparing the kids to go to prison. You know, that's all the schools are, is prisons. Let's go back to him grabbing the dad. And the guy was smart.
They have. I'm not. No.
Please excuse me.
School is out. They will give you your child, but it doesn't say when. Now,
Tennessee state law.
Hit pause again. Back it up 10 seconds. Under our system, we might keep them 100 years. It don't say when you ever get them back. They're going to make good workers later in the prisons. You don't say when you get your kid, boy. Let's go back to it. Here it is.
But they have. I'm not. No. Please excuse
Hit pause again. Back it up again. And no, slave. The guy's like, excuse me, trying to talk to, and he's like, no, slave. You're here to provide the paycheck and children for the state like North Korea. You duck, shut your mouth, boy. Let me show you who the boss is, bud. You get your kid back when I want, because it ain't your kid. Let's go back to it right now. Go ahead and play it.
School is out.
It don't say when, but they have. I'm not. No.
Please excuse me.
School is out. They will give you your child, but it doesn't say when. Now,
Tennessee state law says within a reasonable amount of time, that is 15
put your
minutes.
behind your back.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead. Open yourself up for a lawsuit.
I'm not standing here arguing with you.
That's fine.
It's been disorderly.
That's
pause.
fine with me.
Back it up a little bit. He's like, I don't care. We'll just get it off the taxpayers. I get promoted. Your kid belongs to me. Let's finish the tape.
Now,
Tennessee state law says within a reasonable amount of time, that is 15
put your
minutes.
behind your back.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead. Open yourself up for a lawsuit.
I'm not standing here arguing with you.
That's fine.
It's been disorderly.
That is fine with me. Call Honda Church. Ambush Bruce.
By the way, that dad's been doing this for months, trying to get his kids. They'll keep them like 30, 40 minutes and make them walk through traffic right there. He's tried to get it changed, so he brought a camera in and documented all this. And again, they make a law where the kids are in their custody as long as they want after school. So he's pointing it out. So we'll just get the Tennessee law changed. That's how this works. This video will result in that law being repealed when the legislature's back in session. You can bet your bottom dollar. And that's why we're going to Dallas to reclaim the First Amendment, because you're not taking any of our rights, you degenerate control freaks. Oh my God, this video makes me so angry.
Okay,
Make sure you get this side.
335. No, 250.
Hold on.
It's call Carrie. Good day, officer.
Officer. They're not officers. They're like servants of evil.
That's correct.
That's correct. I'm a bureaucrat.
Can't hold your camera and do everything one time.
Do whatever I want to.
Oh, look, you get the camera.
I don't steal property, you can't.
You guys notice I can do this accent perfectly, because that's how folks talk in East Texas. Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. He has, excuse me, sometimes it's a half an hour. He has a special needs daughter, I would guess from the vaccines. They hold her an hour and a half crying in front of her peers and not allowed to call him. So that's what it comes down to. They have just been hammering this guy. And you notice the cop's like, we'll give him back whenever the hell we feel like it, you piece of crap. What do you think this is, America? I love it. I love the tyranny, don't you? Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds? I'm not ready to announce the surprises we're going to have in Dallas for everybody. I'll be on the ground Friday down there, leading a march live on air for the First Amendment. But right now, I want to get to this really serious article and then back to your calls and back to a report from John Bound and Rob Jacobson on the streets at Dealey Plaza as they shut down more of the areas. Father arrested for trying to pick kids up from school. You don't need a reason as a parent. The people are fighting back. Operation Liberty is in full swing. Anyways, Infowars.com/show if you want to be able to watch the show. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're making some big announcements on the radio tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central. I'll be broadcasting from Dallas with my reporters on the ground. But tonight, 8 o'clock Central, at the Federal Reserve, you want to be there to get all the free flyers and stuff to hand out to people. So, again, you want to definitely come up there. The flyer says, the establishment killed me 50 years ago, and now they're killing free speech. The people are fighting back with the image of Kennedy. And on the other side, it says, parent, to go get your children. They are our children. A father was arrested for attempting to pick up his kids from school in a startling new example of how the state is increasingly treating children as its own property. Making a stand against what he considered a dangerous and illegal new school policy that forces parents to wait in a line of cars